Did you know trauma doesn't just affect your memories? It can literally rewire your brain and change who you are. It's like a shadow that follows you everywhere, even when you think you've left it behind. Whether it's a car accident, a toxic relationship, or a childhood of constant upheaval, trauma leaves its fingerprints on your soul. But here's the twist. Some of these changes might actually surprise you. Trauma doesn't just break you, sometimes it molds you into someone entirely new. So, how exactly does trauma shape your personality in the long run? Grab a cup of coffee, get comfortable, and let's break it down together. Welcome back to Inner Mind Mysteries, where we dive deep into the mysteries of the mind, exploring the things nobody talks about but everyone feels. Today's topic: trauma. We're not here to bring you down, but to shed light on how trauma silently shapes our lives, influencing how we see the world, how we see others, and most importantly, how we see ourselves. Trauma isn't just about major life events like losing a loved one or surviving a disaster. It can also be the accumulation of smaller, everyday stresses that chip away at your well-being over time. The unkind words, the disappointments, the fears. Each moment leaves a trace. The good news? You're not powerless. You can take back control, rewrite your story, and rediscover who you truly are beneath the layers of pain. Let's explore how trauma changes you, and more importantly, how you can transform through it. Let's get into it. Here are 5 ways trauma can change your personality. You might recognize yourself in some of these, or maybe see someone you care about. Either way, stick around until the end. Our last point might completely shift how you understand yourself and your relationships. Number 5, you might become hyper-independent. This is a big one. Trauma can make you think, I can't rely on anyone but myself. While being self-sufficient sounds empowering, hyper-independence often stems from a fear of being let down or hurt again. You might find yourself constantly pushing others away, convinced you're safer alone. It's like you're constructing invisible walls so high and thick that no one can climb over them. But here's the thing. While these walls protect you from potential pain, they also trap you inside, making it difficult to form genuine connections and share your burdens. Building bridges instead of walls can be terrifying, but it's through these connections that healing truly begins. Vulnerability isn't weakness, it's courage in its rawest form. Number 4, you may struggle with trust. When trauma involves betrayal, whether from a friend, a partner, or even a family member, it can shatter your ability to trust others. Suddenly, everyone's intentions seem suspicious, and you find yourself questioning even the kindest gestures. It's like your heart has a permanent lock on it. Trust becomes this rare currency, and you're hesitant to spend it. But here's a thought. What if trust isn't something others earn, but something you choose to give, knowing that you can handle whatever comes next? Learning to trust again is like teaching yourself to breathe underwater. It's uncomfortable at first, but with time and patience, you'll find it's possible. Number 3, you could develop people-pleasing tendencies. Let's be real, trauma sometimes teaches you that it's safer to keep the peace than to rock the boat. You might find yourself bending over backwards, always saying yes when you desperately want to say no. This constant need to please others often means sacrificing your own needs and desires. Over time, you might even forget what makes you happy, constantly chasing approval instead of fulfillment. But here's a reminder. Your value isn't defined by what you can do for others. It's okay to put yourself first, to reclaim your voice and your time. Number 2, your emotional responses might intensify or shut down completely. For some, trauma brings emotions right to the surface. You might find yourself crying over small things or feeling an overwhelming wave of anger at minor inconveniences. Your emotional radar is set to high sensitivity, always on alert. On the flip side, some people shut down completely. It's like your brain has decided that feeling nothing is better than risking another emotional wound. But this numbness can steal joy, connection, and even your sense of purpose. Reconnecting with your emotions, even the painful ones, can be like finding your way back home. Small steps, like acknowledging your feelings without judgment, can make all the difference. Number 1, you may develop a stronger sense of empathy or an inability to connect. Here's the paradox. Trauma can either open your heart wider or shut it down completely. You might find yourself more empathetic, deeply understanding others' pain because you've been there too. It's like you have this sixth sense for suffering. Or you might find it impossible to connect. That emotional armor you've built to survive makes it hard to let others in, even when you desperately want to. It's as if you're speaking a different language, struggling to find common ground. Learning to let others in starts with letting yourself feel. It's scary, but it's worth it. Connection heals. Okay, so trauma changes you, there's no denying that, but it doesn't have to define you. Let's explore some practical steps to reclaim your life. 1. Talk about it. Find a safe space. Whether it's a therapist, a trusted friend, or even a journal, your story deserves to be heard. 2. Learn your triggers. Understanding what sets you off gives you the power to respond instead of react. Knowledge is power. 3. Practice self-compassion. Be gentle with yourself. Healing takes time, and it's okay to have setbacks. 4. Find small moments of joy. Reconnect with what makes you happy. It might be a hobby, a pet, or even just a good book. And finally, seek professional help if needed. Sometimes you need more than self-help. Therapists can offer tools and perspectives you might not have considered. Your turn. What's one thing you've discovered about yourself through difficult times? Let's share in the comments. It could make a world of difference to someone else. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Until next time, take care of yourself and your mind.